cast their vote, meaning more than 1 in 4 Cardiff students took part in these elections. And at a 27.7% turnout, this is the highest election turnout ever recorded at Cardiff Students' Union. How amazing is that?
There are far more candidates than there are positions available. So there are more of you in the room that have lost than have won. First I said most of you are losers, but we'll take it. But standing in an election takes a lot of courage. It's really hard to do. It's admirable. It takes a lot out of you, and hopefully you can learn a lot about yourself by doing it. But I would say, note of caution, the results tell you nothing about who you are. The result doesn't define your worth. The result doesn't tell you who is the best, who is the most worthy, who is the cleverest, or who has the best ideas, or who wants it the most. All it tells us is who is the most popular with strangers. Now, all candidates should be proud. Hopefully you've made some good friends along the way this week, but the positives of taking part in this should far outweigh the negatives.
And with that healthy competition, I think it's really important that we really want everyone to take a step back, and regardless of the results, we hope that everybody supports the newly successful elected team when they take up office in July. Because whilst people are campaigning on different priorities, everyone who stood in this election has done so because they care about making student life at Cardiff better. So all of you have stood with that shared commitment in wanting to make things better, and that should unite everyone in this process, regardless of the outcome.
My pleasure to be back here at Cardiff University Students' Union, and many congratulations to everyone involved in delivering a record-breaking turnout in this year's election. The level of participation is a real testament to the strength of student democracy here at Cardiff SU. For those who I haven't met before, I'm Steve, the returning officer for the elections. In that role, it's my responsibility to oversee the election process independently and to ensure it is conducted in line with the union's elections regulations. Having reviewed the process and the results, I am satisfied that they have been conducted fairly and in accordance with those regulations. I therefore certify that Cardiff Students' Union leadership elections and referendum are certified. I will now begin with the results. Over 50% plus 1 of the valid votes cast and is therefore elected as Accessibility Officer. Anti-Racism Officer. There are 5 candidates in this election, as well as Ron. Hannah, Norm, 7, Trevor, and Yoshu. 6,657 votes were cast. Hannah received 2,480 votes, and 7 received 2,078 votes. Hannah received over 50% plus 1 of the valid votes cast, and is therefore elected as your anti-racism officer.
Hi everyone, thank you so much for everybody that voted, and I'm so excited to just do this job and make everybody proud, and I'm so happy. Okay, bye.
There is 1 candidate in this election, as well as 1. Lucy. 6,642 votes were cast. In round 1, Lucy received 6,330 votes. Ron received 312. Lucy received over 50% plus 1 of the valid votes cast, and is therefore elected as your estranged students officer.
Strange backgrounds, we have to tackle a lot of barriers, and I know that we've all gone through barriers to get here today, and I'm hoping to represent everyone, not only just estranged students, but anyone that feels connected, anyone that wishes to be estranged, anyone that's been through anything, and I think that's really important as
5,434 votes, and Ron received 1,074 votes. Tristan received over 50% plus 1 of the valid votes cast, and is therefore elected as Ethical Environmental Officer 2026.
Thanks so much, everyone. It's a very dramatic race. We don't really know what's going on. No, I'm really excited to be doing this next year, and super excited to see who I'm going to be able to work with and what we're going to be able to get done. So yeah, thanks so much.
Wang Chen hit the required quota and is therefore elected as one of your Heath Park student officers. However, the count continues to confirm the second officer. At this stage, Wang Chen's surplus votes are transferred. In round 2, no candidate has reached the quota, and the candidate with the fewest votes, Ron, was eliminated with 195 votes. In round 3, no candidate reached the quota, and the candidate with the fewest votes, Chandon, is eliminated. In the final round, Danashri received 1,776 votes, and Matilda received 1,561 votes. Danashri has reached quota and is therefore elected as your second Heath Park student officer. LGBTQ+ officer. There are 4 candidates in this election, as well as our old favourite, Ron. 2 positions available in this election. Once again, we will ask that if the successfully elected join us on the stage once both positions are announced. With the first position reserved as a trans place, therefore we conduct that count first. For the first count, Anne and Elle self-identified as qualifying for this position. 2,342 votes were cast. In round 1, Anne receives 856 votes. Elle receives 1,214 votes. And Ron receives 272. Elle received over 50% plus 1 of the valid votes cast, and is therefore elected as one of your LGBTQ+ officers. 5,942 votes were cast. In round 1, Anne received 645 votes. Joseph, 1,378. Poppy, 3,698. Poppy received over 50% plus 1 of the valid votes. In round 1, Kayla received 3,876 votes, which is over 50% plus 1 of the valid votes cast, and therefore is elected as your mental health officer in the first round. Congratulations. Nia received over 50% plus 1 of the valid votes cast, and is therefore elected.
Officers, they were so lovely and we all got on so well, and I can't wait to get started, and good luck to the other candidates who haven't been announced, and also thank you to all of my amazing friends for helping me out. But yeah, thank you guys, I can't wait to get started.
Members of Cardiff Students' Union were asked the following question as part of a referendum on the union's continued affiliation to NUS UK. In the referendum, 7,191 votes were cast. Yes received 4,532 votes. No received 1,364 votes. And there were 1,295 abstentions. Therefore, the result of the referendum is yes, Cardiff Students' Union will remain affiliated to NUS UK with a 76.87% of the vote, not including abstentions. Democracy happened! In round 1, Owen received 7,028 votes and Ron received 416 votes. Owen received over 50% plus 1 of the valid votes cast and is therefore elected as Vice President Cum Ride 2026.
respectful and fair campaign against me. Ond o ddifri, dwi wedi cael ei llorio gan y gefnogaeth sydd wedi ddangos dros yr wythnosau dwytha. Diolch o wylo calon I griw y gymgym am ledaenu negas yn ddi-stop wythnos yma. Diolch I Cynwal am godi proffil yr ôl ac am roi'r hyder I fi sefyll ar y lle cyntaf. Ac wrth gwrs i'n hili am ffrindiau adra am y gefnogaeth dim ots be. A lot of people have asked me why I bothered to campaign this week if I was the only candidate running. Because this role does matter. Welsh students have worked too hard to have their voices heard just for it to fall into complacency. VP Cymraeg is a role for all of us and involves all of us. So I can't wait to get started on the work with the new team in the summer to make sure we prove just that. Diolch yn fawr.
Final round, Hannah received 1,726 votes and Lakshmi received 1,935 votes. Lakshmi received over 50% plus one of the valid votes cast and is therefore elected as Vice President International Students'
Sorry guys, I'm having goosebumps at the moment. Firstly, I'd like to say, Parvez, Hamza, Peace, Mariam, Mohammed, Teja, Ritaja, and Hanan. Firstly, applause to all of you. I had to submit a competition this year, and this is the first time I'm contesting in something like this, and to receive a lot of love from all of you. And I'm so sorry, but I love you guys, thank you.
Claudia received 1,805 votes, and Sean received 2,091 votes. Sean received over 50% plus one of the valid votes and is therefore elected as your Vice President, Postgraduate
Yeah, I'll keep this very short and sweet. Thank you very much for your support. It's been quite a difficult week personally for me, so I appreciate all your support and all the camaraderie from all of the candidates as well as my friends. So yeah, really looking forward to continuing the good fight, but also make some new initiatives launch and make sure that Cardiff is a more inclusive, safer and better place to be in. Thank you.
In the final round, Jess received 1,930 votes, and Manala received 2,328 votes. Manala received over 50% plus one of the valid votes cast and is therefore elected as your Vice President Societies and Communities. In the final round, Amelia received 1,856 votes. Margarita received 3,054 votes. Margarita received over 50% plus one of the valid vote and is therefore elected as your Vice President Sports and Athletic Union President 26-27.
Campaigning this week. They're the loveliest people that I've met and they've been really supportive. And thank you to Izzy's Nido for getting me through this because it's really stressful. I really look forward to starting and working with everyone that's been elected tonight. Thank you so much.
There are two candidates in this election as well as Ron, James and Liz. 7,028 votes were cast. In round one, James received received 2,234 votes. Liz received 4,566 votes. Ron received 228. Liz received over 50% plus one of the valid votes cast and is therefore elected as your Vice President under
who've said that they've never heard anyone at this university talk about working class students. I promise I'm going to try and change that. I'm going to try and support working class students, I'm going to try and support survivors. It's really important to me, so thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. And thank you to Summer and Kira for backing up a storm. And thank you to Ivy for making me watch the first 2 episodes of Veep to know what not to do this election season. Thank you so much, thank you everyone.
Liz, big result today at the election. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling good. I was very nervous, my legs are shaking, but it's all turned out for the best, so it's fine.
So with your plans as VP undergrad, what are you thinking for when you get in this July?
Right, so the first thing I'm going to have to do is try and sort out the timetables, because if I want to get them out a month before people get here, like I promised, then they need to come out in August. The second thing I'm going to do is start looking for funding for the bursary scheme. And then alongside that all, I think it's a misconception that you'd have to do all things on your checklist in a row. Obviously I'm going to try and work on them all at the same time. I'm going to make sure that information and resources come out before the freshers get here so that the consent stuff comes out for freshers. Sorry. Probably the first thing I'm going to do is actually sit down and say hello to all the other people that won, because I know most of them, but I don't know a couple of them. So that'll be very exciting as well. I don't know what else you want me to say about that, I'm really sorry.
That's all good. Thank you, Liz. Congrats again.
Thank you.
our final election result today. There are 5 candidates in this election as well as Ron. Alex, Alice, Callum, Joshua and Maria. 8,282 votes were cast. In round 1, Joshua is in the lead with 3,178 votes. No candidate reached quota, therefore the candidate with the fewest votes was removed. This meant Ron was eliminated with 176 votes. Round 2. Once again, no candidate has reached the quota at this stage, and the candidate with the fewest votes, Callum, was eliminated with 294 votes. Round 3. Once again, no candidate has reached the quota. At this stage, the candidate with the fewest votes, Alice, was eliminated with 711 votes. Round 4. Once again, no candidate has reached the quota. The candidate with the fewest votes, Maria, was eliminated with 1,682 votes. In the final round, Alex received 2,648 votes, and Joshua received 3,463 votes. Joshua has received more than 50% plus 1 of the vote and is therefore elected as Students' Union President.
Thank you, everyone. The Students' Union is my home, and I'm sure it's all of yours, and it's the greatest of worlds to me. So I'm just going to quickly run through a couple of thank yous. One to all of the little Instagram reels that say, "You're gonna win," and I repost them to myself. Thank you. No, I'm only joking. Taylor, you are the best campaign manager. I love you so much. Thank you. A round of applause for Taylor, please. I could never have done without you. Okay, moving on. My campaign team: Reese, Abby, Harry, other Abby with 2 B's, Bess, Tabby, Lottie, Kurt, Alicia, Emily, Millie, Tia, Olive, Sarah, and more if I've missed you. Thank you so much. My wider supportive team and everyone who endorsed me, thank you so much. And also, I just want to say thank you to everyone who voted for me. I want to thank the other candidates for a really great race, and I think the camaraderie this year was absolutely amazing. I thank you all to many more TikToks and yeah, stuff like that. Sorry, that's the only thing got going. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Josh, huge result today, SU president. How are you feeling?
Quite ecstatic. I think it was a really, campaigning all week. The camaraderie was great, but I think it was definitely a close match, and there were some great other candidates, but I'm just ecstatic to win, really.
What are your plans for when you get in this July?
Well, I think the first thing is, I'm a very organised person, so I think I'm really going to kind of, make as much stuff and make use of my time in the summer, which I don't think I did as much as VP Heath, coming in new. But obviously I've kind of already been trained, so I'll be able to really get a jump on all of my manifesto points.
Do you have a message to any Cardiff students who may be unfamiliar with you and you want to sort of get a message across to them?
Yeah. I would just say, yeah, I'm one person, but I plan on making the whole SU much more transparent and accessible in terms of the communication this year, and that will be a priority for me. So even if you don't know me, you should know your union.
It's fantastic. Thank you, Josh. Congratulations.